Hello again, my fellow journeyers. Thank you for joining the ride as we traverse idea to idea and just honing in on these minuscule sort of like a concept can be minuscule, but it's usually intertwined with a lot of other concepts. So no matter what concept we're looking at, it's part of like a beautiful picture of this creation that is ultimately an illusion. So I really hope you all are tapping into that 0 point, that one consciousness that is everything, that fundamentally is peace, it is love, and nothing can ever be wrong, everything's always perfect. And this illusion of separation is springing forth from that in every now moment. So just wanting to tap in and hone in and remembering that home location of our pixel, the home location in the heart, where we can always feel at ease. So I wanted to continue to read Tom Bearden's work, from The Final Secret of Free Energy. And if you want to go back, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I did an episode where I started reading his work, so I'm going to continue where I left off there. But if you didn't see that one, you can, of course, feel free to watch that one first if you want. And that episode will also have the links for the PDF, which is a link to Tom Bearden's website, which is still up, even though I'm pretty sure he's passed. But people's memory lives on in their work. So, continuing, so here we are. A potential is a river of energy. The point is, you have established a mighty, hidden, two-way river of energy between that collection of charges and every other point in the universe. There is infinite energy in each of those infolded waves and anti-waves. But in a localized region, the energy density in each wave is finite. Since in finite circuits, the potential interacts with a localized set of mass, we shall be concerned with the local energy density, joules per coulomb, of potential. But forget the conventional myth of visualizing the potential as pushing a unit charge in from infinity against the force field. There isn't any force field in the vacuum, as is well known in quantum mechanics. Also, Newton's third law requires all forces to occur in pairs, each pair consisting of a force and its third law reaction force. From that viewpoint alone, there is no such thing as an EM force field or force field wave in the vacuum. There are just gradients of the vacuum potential present in the vacuum. In the vacuum, an EM wave is actually a wave of the phase-locked gradients of the electrostatic scalar potential and of the magnetostatic scalar potential. And each such gradient wave is simultaneously accompanied by its phase conjugate gradient wave because of Newton's third law. Newton's third law requires forces to occur in pairs of equal but anti-parallel forces. Both wave and anti-wave coexist simultaneously in the vacuum EM wave. Therefore, it's a stress potential wave, not a force field wave. It's more like an electromagnetic sound wave, and so it is a longitudinal wave, not a transverse wave. In the EM vacuum wave's interaction with matter, the so-called photon interaction, the wave normally half interacts with the electron shells of the atom, giving translation forces, while the anti-wave half interacts with the atomic nucleus, giving the Newtonian third law reaction, recoil forces, waves. The EM wave in vacuum is an electrogravitational wave. Energy is internally infinite and unlimited. A static potential, which is identically excess energy, is internally dynamic and infinite. Energy is internally infinite and unlimited, but it has a finite energy density in a local region of space-time. Since energy interacts with matter locally, we shall be concerned with the local energy density, joules per coulomb. A principle of great importance. The only way you can have a chunk or finite amount of energy to dissipate in a circuit as work is to first have a potential's local energy density interact with a local finite mass collector. The normal interacting mass collector is the free electrons, the free electron gas, in the circuit. You can have, for example, joules per coulomb times coulomb, joules per gram times grams, joules per cubic meter times cubic meter, etc. Voltage, force, potential gradients, loads, and work. Now let's look at circuitry aspects. Conventionally, they are a mess. Voltage is essentially defined as the drop in potential. In other words, it's the dissipation, disordering of a finite amount. And that is, unfortunately, the last page I have printed out. So I'm gonna have to print out more pages and continue with that. And then maybe just create a playlist with all the Bearden's work. It's really something to look into if you're wanting to understand this concept of zero-point energy and how do we extract from this infinite energy that Bearden's mentioning. So I did want to let you all know that again last night we saw more TR3Bs here in the sky, and it was just a small group of people who were just hanging out in the same area where we had seen them the previous night. And so to me it just actually felt very normal to see them. I didn't get any kind of like, it was just like, oh, they're there again. And so I hope you all have the experience of going places where there's known to be craft, and this is near some like key military bases I know, and maybe that has something to do with it, but it's definitely fun to see for sure. So I wanted to tell you all about that, and yeah, I would love to hear anyone's experience with any kind of craft or paranormal experience. Feel free to share with me, share in the comments, or I really try to put my email in every video. And let's see what else there. Oh, I really wanted to share. So Eugene the philosopher, thanks Eugene for putting this in the comments. He was pointing out how water freezes at 0 degrees and boils at 100 degrees, and when they took the temperature of a hen sitting on her eggs, the temperature is 38.2. And so if you look at that ratio, 38.2, in that context of the 0 and the 100, these segments, basically the 38.2 and then you know, the 61.8, these are golden ratio. You can do the division to see, comes out really darn close, 1.617, so approximately equal to 5. And so that was really fun, and it's like I love, thanks Eugene again, because there's got to be just so many examples in nature, so many that are like this, and it's really like delightful. It's like finding Easter eggs. So just so much gratitude to Eugene for sharing that Easter egg. I'm also curious, there must be some kind of joke philosopher with the T in there. So yeah, let's see. I think that was about all I had in mind to share with you all, but just try to see. I just really, again, hope that we can really all find peace in the moment and peace in our hearts and have a peaceful mind to where we're really appreciating the now moment, because it's all that's really ever real. And the past and the future are always shifting based on the now moment as our perspective shifts. So just coming back whenever we need to, just coming back to center, that center point in the heart, and like viewing that center point as like the convergence of these sort of three planes of the XYZ axes, you know, horizontal, vertical, and then so it's like you can go left and right, forward and backward, up and down. It's like these XYZ axes, basically three lines of symmetry. Could draw it, but maybe that's something we'll get into next, because I actually, gosh, kind of want to share this. All right, I'll give you all a preview of a topic I'm really looking forward to going into, and I guess I was considering doing it today, but probably it's just too much. But I really, for a while now, I've been honing in on dimensions and what is each dimension like, and what would it visually be like if we could just tap in dimension by dimension. And so maybe let's at least just start with the 0 and the 1 before I get into like mapping out all of them, which I've started doing. So when I think 0 point, there is no such thing as dimension, because the only thing that's real is love. Not one consciousness being that zeroth dimension, or 0D. It's kind of fun like that. And then, as you know, I've been talking so much, anyone that's been following this channel, talking about these individual pixels of separation, and just this one consciousness saying, well, I want to play and have fun and pretend to be separate. And so in my mind, that's just these little single pixels of rainbow light. Just, we can be whatever form, you know, it's like we're just shifting all the time, but we are fundamentally these little spheres of individual God consciousness, you could say. So having that be the first dimension, to where in that first dimension, it's almost like from that pixel location, it's like we can go to any other pixel in the universe just by thought. And that's why I guess I like, let me block that, because I know some people get it's distracted. I didn't notice it till now. I like the rainbows, but I want you all to be able to focus if this, something like that is distracting. So 0D being all is one, there is no such thing as dimensions, it's 0 dimensions. And then the 1D being just these infinite pixels that we each, you know, have, we each like inhabiting like one of them, that portal location in our heart. And but really, actually like that I'm just slowly covering just these two, because it's coming to my mind now that with that, like I just said, that 1D of like going anywhere with our mind, or like having the ability to like locate, and I mean, like, I'm still honing in on the fundamentals of like the mechanics between like the mind and the heart. But it's like seeing in our mind where we want to go. Like if you're just lying in meditation and you like had this beautiful waterfall location by the beach in Hawaii that you've been to before, and you want to just pretend you're there and just experience that energy again, it's like we can just close our eyes and just envision that scene, and like to a degree we're actually there. So for me, that's sort of like that 1D thing of like we can locate our pixel like anywhere we want, really. But you know, when we're waking, in our waking hours, typically we're choosing to locate it here in our human experience. But so yeah, I just wanted to give you all a preview, but I'm really looking forward to going into that, you know, 2D, 3D, 4D and beyond, but starting with 0 and 1 and just building off, again, these like fundamental concepts. So anyway, so that'll be a preview. But yeah, so much more that I'm looking forward to sharing. And we're gonna be doing some meditation and music, healing music shortly, and I need to get some food, but hope to keep making these transmissions, these journeys that we're taking. It's just super fun for me. So as always, so much gratitude for jumping on the journey, and I hope that you can just strengthen that connection with the beautiful pixel of light that you are, your authentic self. Because through this journey I have been, and it's just, we find that childlike joy through this process if we're willing to go through it. It's just so fun. All right, so much love.